Hello children, again I am here with a new chapter of a computer, that is computer fundamentals. Fundamentals means the basic thing. In earlier classes you all have studied about basic parts of the computers, right? Now here in this chapter we will move further and see what is coming next in computer fundamentals. Let us start with the introduction. Computer fundamentals means basic knowledge of the computer. In earlier classes you all have studied that computer takes instructions as input with the help of input devices. Then the CPU does the processing work, and finally we can see our desired output on the output devices. Now let us see three main terminologies of the computer. First one, program. Then what is the program? The definition of the program is the user gives all the instructions step by step to the computer, which is known as program. Second one, the person who does the work of preparing the program is known as programmer. And third definition is the language in which the programs or codes are written is called programming language or computer language. These three terminologies are very important. Program means the instructions we give to the computer. Programmer means the person who prepares the program. And programming language means the language in which we are developing the programs or we are writing the codes. This much was the brief introduction which you all have studied in earlier classes and you all are aware also. Computer languages means programming languages. First of all, what is language? So, language is a way to express our thoughts, ideas, exchanging views, etc. Means if we want to communicate with any of the person, we need a medium. This medium is known as language. Now, what is computer language? Computer language means a system of rules and symbols that are designed to give instructions to a computer. Means for giving instructions to computer, whatever the rules we follow and symbols we use is known as computer language. For developing the programs, the programmer has to follow some rules of computer language which he or she is using. These rules are known as syntax. So keep in mind the definition of the syntax. Again, for developing the programs, the programmer has to follow some rules of the computer language which he or she is using. These rules are known as syntax. Means in maths you are having the formulas and based on that formula you have to solve the sum. Same way, all the programming languages are having their own syntax, their own formation of programs. All the programmers has to follow that particular format, particular syntax. Now, one more definition is there, that is semantics. So, what is semantics? Semantics is the meaning of languages. Means you can say that it is the study of meaning in a particular language. Next is types of computer language. There are mainly two categories of the computer language. Means there are mainly two types of computer languages. First one, low level languages, and second one is high level languages. Means computer languages are divided in two parts, low level languages and high level languages. Now this low level languages are again divided in two parts, that is machine languages and assembly languages. Now let us see the chart. Computer languages divided in two parts, low level languages and high level languages. Again, low level languages are divided in two parts, that is machine languages and assembly languages. Now let us see all these languages one by one in detail. First language is low level languages. These low level languages are directly understood by a computer. The code of this language are either written in a machine language or can be converted into machine code without using compiler or interpreter, and the final resulting code directly runs on the processor. Now you must have a question, what is compiler and what is interpreter? So compiler and interpreter are one kind of conversion softwares only. They are used to convert high level languages to machine understandable code. They work like a translator software which translate our language to computer language and computer's language to our understandable language. Now these low level languages are directly understood by the computer. Why? Because the low level languages are written in the machine code only. Means the code of low level languages is 0 and 1, means binary only. So that code no need to translate. For writing the programs in low level language, just listen this point properly. For writing the programs in low level language, the programmer must have in-depth knowledge of different computers. Means the programmer must have the knowledge of each and every computers, because the processing of different computers differs from one computer to another. So in short we can say that it is very difficult language. Now these low level languages are divided in two parts, machine languages and assembly languages. Let us see machine languages. Computer hardware understands only machine language, which is a fundamental language having only two digits, that is 0 and 1. 0 means off state and 1 means on state. This language is also known as binary language. Last year also I have informed you this. This language is directly executed by CPU without any translation. So the execution of the program is faster than other languages. Means the code of this language is not needed to be translated. So the program of this language is directly run on the processor, directly executed by the computer. It is a difficult language for the programmers to write the programs. Why this is so? Because the alphabets of this binary language is only 2, and all the codes becomes with the help of the combination of these 2 digits only. Means these 2 digits only makes the whole program, the whole code. That's why this language is much more difficult. Now let us see another type of low level language, that is assembly language. Assembly language is one kind of low level programming language only. Assembly language arranges each statement in the form of a single machine code instruction. Means in assembly language, all the instructions, all the statements are arranged in a single machine code instruction. Means the whole code is divided in separate parts. In this language, the instructions are written in the form of words which are known as mnemonics. Now see, in machine language, the code was written in binary digits. Now to overcome this limitation, because to remember the combination of 0 and 1 was really very difficult. So to overcome that limitation, another low level language was introduced, that is assembly language. And in this assembly language, some of the codes were written in the words, in the form of words. So these words were known as mnemonics. Like suppose examples are given: add, ADD. The word add is used to do addition. Then LD, the keyword, the word LD was used to load or run the program. Like that, the different words were used to create assembly language code. Now assembly language code needs to be translated into machine code for the further processing. Why? Because computer understands only machine language, and in assembly language the codes are written in the form of words, English words. Okay, so that words also needs to be translated in the machine code. So the utility program used to convert an assembly language code into executable machine code. Means to convert the assembly language code into the machine code, there is one utility program known as assembler. Now as the code needs to be translated in machine code, again the same thing has come. Execution of assembly language program is slower than machine language program. Now see, in machine language program, machine language code directly executed by the computer, by the CPU. And in assembly language, as the words are being used, it needs to be translated. So in translation, the CPU needs more time to process it, because first the code is converted into machine code, then it will go for the processing. After processing, it will get the answer, and again the answer will be converted into our understandable form. So the assembly language code is slower to run. Coding in the assembly language is a complex process, as having limited set of instructions. Now see, in assembly language also there were limited words which are used for the coding. So it becomes complex process for the CPU, as some of the words are used as assembly language code and sometimes that words needs to be used in the program also. So this codes of assembly language are sometimes becomes very limited, and so that becomes very difficult for the assembly language program. So it's a complex process. Now here two different definitions are there. First one, the original program written is known as source code or source program. Means the basic program which we have written, means typed in the computer, that program is known as source code or source program. Another one, the translated machine language equivalent code is called object code or object program. Means the translated one, the translated program, the translated code is known as object code or object program. Means basically when we are typing any of the program, that program is known as source code or source program. Afterwards, by using any of the utility program of translation, whatever the code is generated after the translation, that program, that code is known as object code or object program. Second computer language is high level languages. Now the high level languages are the languages which we are using today for creating the programs. These languages are programmer friendly languages, means easily understandable by the programmers. They are written using English letters and mathematical symbols. Now see, these high level languages are written in English letters as well as mathematical symbols are also being used. In assembly language, we were just using English letters, but now in high level languages, these English letters are also used, but with that we can use the mathematical symbols also. Okay, so the limitation of the assembly language was that only English words were being used, and that were too in the limited set. So to overcome that limitation, another language was introduced, that is high level languages. And now in high level languages we are getting English letters as well as mathematical symbols also. So it becomes very much user friendly. These language codes are not understood by the computer directly. So the code needs to be converted into machine understandable code by the softwares known as compilers and interpreters. So in assembly language, as English words were being used, the code needs to be translated into machine language. Okay, so there the utility software called assembler was being used as a translator software. Here in high level language also, English letters as well as symbols, mathematical symbols are being used, so that also needs to be translated. So here also we need to use utility softwares called compiler and interpreter. So these compilers and interpreters both are utility softwares only, or you can say translator programs. Now there are some advantages of using this high level languages. Let us see one by one. First one, easy to understand. Now The programs written in these languages are easy to create and understand for the programmers. Why? Because English letters and mathematical symbols are being used. Second one, easy to debug. Now the process of debugging means what? So the process of debugging means finding and rectifying errors. The debugging means finding and rectifying the errors. Means if in our program we have made any kind of mistakes, then the finding of the errors becomes very easy in this language. Then easy syntax. These programs use variables, arrays, objects, functions, loops, etc. to form the syntax. Now, syntax means what? First of all, let me explain you syntax. Syntax means particular format, like you have in maths. In maths, you have the formula, and based on that formulas and rules, you are supposed to solve the sums. So here in computer also, whichever language you are selecting, for that particular language you have to follow its syntax and rules. Okay, so the syntaxes of high level languages are very easy, because in that whatever the variables, arrays, objects, all such things you are using, that are very easy. Now what is variable, what is array, what is object, what is function, what is loop, these all are the terminologies of the programming. So when we learn the programming, then I will explain all these terms. Okay, next point is supporting portability feature. Now see, this is the most important feature, or you can say most useful feature of high level languages. Programs created in high level languages can run at any platform, means in any of the operating system. For example, nowadays in markets, so many operating systems are available. Now suppose in my computer Windows XP operating system is installed, and in another computer Linux is installed. So or you can say Windows 2000 is installed. Means any of the operating system is installed in your computer, this high level language softwares are being supported in all the computers. Some of the examples are given for high level language programs: BASIC, Fortran, COBOL, C++, Pascal, Java, PHP, etc. Now these all are the examples of high level languages. Okay, now from this C++, Java and PHP are mostly in use nowadays for preparing the softwares, for preparing the websites, and so many things. One fact file is given, that is the first high level programming language designed for the computers was Plankalkal. Its pronunciation is Plankalkal, which was created by Konrad Zuse. Okay, so Konrad Zuse was the inventor of the first high level programming language named Plankalkal. Okay, so keep in mind. So my dear students, this was the explanation of our topic computer languages, and now hope you don't have any doubts and you understood very well. Thank you.